The best individual performances on the OH report from week number 11. These are your Friday Night Phenoms. Our first nominee comes from Scott Bailey Memorial Field as Crestview's QB was sensational versus Wayne Trace. Hayden Kuhn was dialed in, dicing up 147 pass yards, 3 touchdown passes, a rushing touchdown, and of course, snagging 2 interceptions defensively as the Kings of the Firelands Conference move on in the postseason.
Another dominating showing for the Crestview Cougars, and of course, QB Hayden Kuhn getting it done through the air and on the ground, and defensively, a little QB on QB action with 2 interceptions.
What a huge night for the Cougar signal caller, also getting it done on defense. Nominee number 2 comes from North Robinson as Colonel Crawford running back Micah Thomas grounded and pounded his way to 4 scores on 12 carries on just 51 yards rushing. That's 1 score every 3rd carry as the Eagles earned a rematch against Cary with the first round win over Margaretta.
The yardage might not blow you away, but all he needed was 12 carries to have a hat trick in the first half and then added 1 more on in the second half. Definitely the most physical guy on the field that night.
Glad to see Micah back from injury and putting on a big performance. It must have been a full moon because Mason was howling at the first half like the wolf that he is. Ow, this dude cooked Shelby's defense for 49 points in less than 2 quarters of work, throwing 3 touchdowns and accumulating over 200 yards of total offense. Again, folks, that's just 24 minutes of gameplay, and he was chomping on a 50 burger as West Holmes stays unbeaten at 11-0.
Yeah, I know it's Halloween, but imagine how scary these numbers would be if he played all 4 quarters. Mason Wolfe putting up a full game's worth of work in just 2 frames of play.
Look at the dimes all night long from Mr. Wolfe, making our countdown. Our 4th nominee comes from Arlen Field, and he goes by the name of Chiante Bradley. In the TY Tigers' first ever meeting with the Ontario Warriors, Bradley would catch 6 balls for 84 yards, and he found the end zone, which you just saw for the first touchdown of the game, and a spectacular variety of pick 6 to the house on just the 2nd play of the game. Tigers brought the juice in this first-time crosstown showdown, and Keontez was feasting on both sides of the ball all night in a shootout victory. Shutout victory, I should say. It's no points for Ontario, thanks to that guy. Nominee number 5 comes from the Ohio Valley, where Northmor's Max Lauer put on a show in his final high school football game, rushing 22 times for 222 yards and 2 scores, down in a hostile environment that is Bel Air.
Yeah, Max kept the Golden Knights in the game in the first half, had 172 yards against Bel Air's first team, another 50 yards when it was late, but a great job for Max in his final game. If you see Max out there, give him a handshake because not a lot of that happened on Saturday.
But you see he was shaking and rumbling into the secondary. Lauer with a huge outing in his final high school game. Powie Ault of Clear Fork makes his return to the Phenom nominees, and on Friday night, he went trick-or-treating and found 4 times Reese Cups at each house he stopped at. The Upper Sandusky squad tried to stop the runaway Colt, but there wasn't much they could do as Powie pounded 4 touchdowns down their throat, racked up 188 yards on 12 carries, and the Clear Fork Colts are playing November football thanks to this phenomenal performance. Those are your nominees from week number 11. Now it's up to you, the fans, to decide who had the most impressive performance of the week.